Hey guys, Chuck's from Chuck's Kitchen. I was coming from you today. We're going to make a little bit of something special. I've never done this before. In theory, it should work, but we really don't know. I'm going to make something called Redneck Hommous, which is basically hummus, sort of, with some ingredients that would be more common to some southern food. So instead of chickpeas, we've got black-eyed peas, which every southerner should be pretty familiar with. Instead of tahini, we've got peanut butter. And for the salt, we've got some hickory smoked salt, which will give it a nice little flavor. Garlic, I could use garlic, but I'd rather use this little vidalia bulb. So we're going to spin that up a little bit. And then for a little bit of acid and some heat, I've got this little brined pepper sauce, which I guess if you're not from the South, it might be a little hard to find. This is what we normally put on collards. But if that's not enough heat, I've also got some cayenne. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and drop this little guy over in here. And you know what? Honestly, I'm not even going to chop it. Not a big deal. Just kind of wanted to get it into small pieces before I do anything else. And plus, anybody has a food processor, you really like violence. So, yeah. Sweet. Okay, yeah, that's about enough. I mean, really, it doesn't matter. We're going to spin the crap out of this once everything else gets in here. Now, if you look inside these cans, what I've done, I've partially opened the cans of black-eyed peas, and I use the tinned ones. I mean, you can do the soaked if you really, really want to, if you have all that time. I don't. I work 10-hour days, so I'm pretty lazy. But kind of important on this, what I recommend if you're opening this up, whether you soak them or whether you use them in a can, drain the water. Now, there's some debate on whether that makes it taste not as good or anything, and it may be true, but if you keep that bean water in there, even though these are peas, it's still the same sort of thing. It's, let me put it this way, you're going to be a little musical. So, I mean, you can keep that water in there if you're just sort of, I guess, bumming it by yourself and don't really want to be around anybody. Or, I mean, if you really want to be a jerk and just like hang out around somebody and be all shock and awe and just completely blow somebody away, not exactly what I'd recommend. So, but I like to keep the water in there. I just replace it with about the same amount. It kind of gets the consistency about right. So, just something I'd recommend. Now, go ahead and pitch in the peanut butter. This is from Whole Foods. They did the little ground peanut butter. I've never done that before. It's kind of cool. We'll see how that works. And I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. A lot about hummus, if you start small and work your way up, you'll kind of get to where you want it to be. I mean, and you kind of taste as you go and adjust on the fly. So it's not that big of a deal. This thing is really on there. You know, one second, I'm going to hold the camera while I give it a twist. So yeah, and just a little shake. It's got that little vinegar in there. I don't know if you can see it. I guess you can see it a little bit. But just go ahead and add that a little bit. And then we're going to cover this and let it go. And I let this thing go for a while. A lot of people talk about cooked beans and everything like that not having a great texture. Well, if you spin them long enough, they do. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And we're looking right here. I'm going to step away so you can hear me a little bit. And I've literally never made this before, so I don't know what that's going to be like. It might be a good thing, it might be bad. I might die. But we'll kind of see. I'm going to let it go for a little bit. And after a little bit, I'm going to turn it off and we're going to taste it. Just kind of taste as we go. And as a matter of fact, let me get the old tasting spoon. Got me a spoon to taste with, so everything's good there. And let's kind of check the consistency and see what we're looking at. Alright, so kind of see what it's looking like. Yeah, it's not the same color, so if you're expecting this to look just like the regular hummus that you had, probably going to be disappointed. So now, here's the moment of truth, and this might really suck, so I'm bracing for this, and kind of pan over to myself. The taste is fine. That's yeah, oh man, that tastes really good. It's a little grainy still. We'll need to spin that up, but yeah, that's probably would add a little bit more of this, and we'll go ahead and say some cayenne pepper, just to add it. I love stuff hot. I love spicy, so if you don't, that's fine. I mean, know your audience. I mean, me and my wife, we can pretty much handle that. We'll get a little more salt. But if you don't, if you've got people, and I know a lot of folks who just don't handle spicy food, that's fine. Just kind of play to your audience. And let me do this before I spin it up. All this little gritty stuff right here. I'll go ahead and kick that back down a little bit. And yeah, I'm stirring with my tasting spoon. I'm not working in a restaurant. I don't give a damn, so whatever. But I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with this. I'm going to spin this up, and you'll see the final product on my blog. So see you guys.